Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, the Monday night Zoom edition, and Bitcoin's been pretty cool lately, staying above 40K. We appreciate that. So still trending in that that zone we've been talking about. Let's look at the chart. All right, you guys should be seeing my Bitcoin 5-minute chart. And if you're not, speak up because you're going to be confused. Let's go to the day chart and let's see. All right, so here's the range I drew, this yellow rectangle. And I actually extended it. It had stopped right about here, and I pulled it out to the right because it's still in the range. Right around, 35, 36 to 42 and change. Well, 45 actually, but we haven't seen that, since the beginning of the month. But we did have a nice push over 42 over the weekend. Didn't hold, but we're over 41. That's trying to hold. We're down a little bit in Bitcoin today, but we got green and the altcoins. So that's pretty cool. Most of us are trading altcoins anyway, hence the name Altcoin Alert. And yeah, hopefully Bitcoin behaves itself and we can get some moves up. And on Ethereum, looks pretty similar. I drew this pennant here. I think this is a descending. I'm never sure if they're descending or ascending, but so anyway, Ethereum's going to have a decision to make pretty soon, next couple of weeks, whether it's going to shoot up and pass 3,000 or kind of languish down here in the mid 2000s. We did get close to 3,000, 29.97 on Saturday, but didn't hold. So today we've been in the low 2900s. No real news events coming out that are earth shaking. Most of these are kind of general, trade analysis type things. So, all right, any questions on Bitcoin or Ethereum or the overall market? Questions, comments, predictions, crystal balls, it's all good. All right, we're quiet today. Okay.
Wish we had a crystal ball.
Yeah, we'd be so rich if we had crystal balls that actually worked.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Altcoin Alert, see if we can find something to trade over there. Actually, put this on the 5-minute first. All right, Altcoin Alert. Why did I do that? Let's look at the AA score first. Quick review. I like the Altcoin Radar view with all in easy mode turned off, so I have all the information. I sort mostly by AA score and then by long-term sentiment. We'll start with AA score. Got Dash very bullish. This is kind of intriguing. I looked at this earlier. This is a crusty old project. Of course, old by crypto terms means it's like a few years old. But it actually has a monthly chart. So on my Binance chart here from March of 19. All right, well, day chart. Yeah, just crashing down like all the coins pretty much have, but really strong move the last few days. We'll get a better look on the hour chart. Actually, let's go on the 4-hour chart, get a better look at that. Yeah, from about late February, actually the 6th of March, up over 50% on Dash. The hour, a little more recent. From the 18th to 21st, 33% in 3 days, down a little bit today. My 5-minute. Had a big bubble to the upside here this morning. That would have been a nice move to catch, but there's just really no, really indication of it. It's just out of nowhere. All right, so possible dip sequence starting here. We've got a little bubbling action going. It broke through the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We didn't get a second break here, and it's trending up. So I'd want to see those. I'd want to see at least a second breakthrough with a cross of the MACD, just confirmation, and the RSI and the MFI pointing up before I'd want to get in this. Ideally, you wait for that third dip. Should probably happen around here, around 119. So if you're looking for a 1, 2, 3 dip, you might want to send a price alert, say between 118 and 119, right around here. Crossing 119, call it maybe dip trade. Dip question mark. So that would be a good alert to set. If you want to use your indicators, which is what I do most of the time, I like to do those on the 15-minute chart. Get your bullish divergence here, the green one, right click, positive divergence. I usually want to use once per bar close, and bullish divergence. That's what I usually call that one. And a quick recap, divergence is a disagreement between the indicators and the price action. So like bearish divergence is when the indicator goes down, but the price action goes up. It has a predictive quality that I like, beginning with the 15-minute chart. It doesn't work as well the 5-minute, but even though I did look at a few charts today that where it did predict on the 5-minute, but that hasn't been my experience. So that's one option. I also like these two indicators, the MFI and the RSI. I use the MFI more for confirmation. The RSI, I like to put alerts upon that. So if I want to trade long on Dash, wait for it to dip, I'm on my 15-minute chart. I'm gonna add an alert. I want to be crossing up. I want to catch that trend, and 30 or higher. Once per bar close, and RSI alert or something like that is what I would do. On the RSI, when it's below 30, that's considered oversold, and above 70 is considered overbought. But you do want to confirm that with the price action and other indicators. So, any questions on Dash? Okay. Let's see what else we got. So I don't see any other AA scores over 80, and those are the ones I like the most. So let's do our long-term sentiment sort. Might want to reload first. Okay, so what I'm looking for is very bullish or bullish under the long-term sentiment, which quick review, it's the word on the street, the Twitter data. What are people talking about online? It compares the last 24 hours to the last 20 days to determine whether it's bullish. And then I want to see confirmation with the Elder Impulse, which is a combination of technical tools, indicators, like the MACD and momentum and things like that. So what people are talking about and the technical indicators, when these align, that's worth checking out, I think. So, and they talk about this a lot in the Tuesday afternoon Altcoin Alert calls. So this one caught my attention, OMG. We're very bullish on the long-term sentiment, bullish on the Elder Impulse. And again, it's one of those older projects. Yeah, this has a week-long, month-long chart going back to April of 19. That's pretty old by crypto standards. On the day chart, he had a big run up here in November, as a lot of the coins did. That's when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. Big drop since then, almost 80%, but coming back a little bit. On the 1 hour, yeah, we got pretty nice move since the 15th. 33%, 34% up to the 19th, but dropping since then. But a little nice, pretty good movement today. Yeah, I was looking at this earlier. I saw this thing spike up and it dropped again. It's moving back up. This is intriguing. I don't trade the top of the Bollinger Band very often, but yeah, it's really only, I mean, it's not even 1% to this resistance. And, this is kind of an outlier here. I think this is kind of risky for only 2%. So that doesn't really interest me. So it's going to be, I mean, you've got some support in this vicinity between about 469 and 471. So maybe 470, put a price alert there. If you want to trade this, catch the next dip. Or you can go, like I talked to before on Dash, we've got our divergence alerts. The 15-minute, this one triggered, 2:15 this afternoon, and it was right. 2.6% move. That's pretty good it's a really good day trade. Some of these older projects you can trade on margin to 5-10x. So that's something to think about. But they're not always right. The on balance volume triggered here. But I usually wait for a confirming. Actually, these alerts trigger on the confirming candle. But I look for a second confirming candle before I do anything. And we didn't really have confirmation on the other indicators, so I would not have taken this one. Of course, that's easy to say in hindsight. But again, we've got a nice move here, nice move here. This one went down first, but then up. So that's your divergence alert. Positive divergence, and you're good to go. And as a reminder, if you want to download this indicator, this is my favorite divergence indicator. Type in divergence and get this one here. Divergence from any indicators version 4. That's the most recent and most popular. Well, second most popular. I've looked at this one too. It's Fu Manchu Cipher B. It mimics the market cipher popular software that people have, including me, but haven't really done much with it. And then we've got our indicator alerts on the MFI and the RSI, like I showed you before. Crossing above the 20 on the MFI, crossing above the 30 on the RSI. Actually, here's sort of an exception. If you look at some of these dips on the RSI, some of them don't go all the way down to 30. Like this one here went to about 35.50. Went to 34.89 and then came back up. So I will do that sometimes. Instead of going down to the 30, I'll do an alert on the RSI. If I see a few like that in the past, thinking maybe it's a trend, I'll put the crossing up. Instead of 30, I'll put 35. So maybe even like 38 or 40 if the market's pumping, if there aren't that many dips. I mean, we're not quite there yet, but yeah, hopefully those days are coming. There you go, dip. Any questions on OMG? All right.
CJ.
Yes.
So when you're talking about, 35 or 30, and you're talking about the RSI, what is it that gets you to think that that's going to be the case? I mean, generally it's like you make a rule, but then here's the exception, but then the exception is, I'm not understanding why, where you're making the exception from.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't clear about that. All right, so if you look at some of the past price action on OMG in the last couple of days on the 15-minute chart, it's not going all the way down to the 30 before it makes its move back up. Like here, it went down to 35 and then came back up.
What's the number of times that you would consider that to be? I mean, you're talking about a trend within a trend sort of thing.
Right. It just on my screen, you know, for a couple days. I'm a day trader. I'm going to want to get in and out. So if I see a trend that's happening, you know, I'm thinking it could be duplicated a few times before it goes away. It's just any little edge I can get, then, you know, I'm up for that. So the 30 is the baseline, the ones that most people use. So so that's my, you know, my go-to. But if I see some price action trending up and it's not like this kind of just kind of glides along the Bollinger Band and shoots up, you can see it didn't make it all the way down to the 30. So I'd want to catch this move if this is a coin I'm following. So the point I was trying to make is if you see these dips, like this one went all the way, these went all the way down, but you know, these two did not, this one did not, this one, you know, these guys did not, and they ended up, you know, going into some pretty good moves. So sort of an exception to the rule when we have some pretty good price action moving up.
So it's kind of like applying support or resistance to RSI and MFI, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you want to incorporate, you know, that's why I talk about, you know, the trading ranges and the support and resistance and you know, I'm trying to you know, nobody wants to sit at a computer for all day. So if we can get our alerts just right, or at least pretty close, then, you know, when that goes off, we can sit down and look at everything and hopefully make, you know, good decisions about where we get in. And if putting your alert on 35 instead of 30 on the RSI helps you do that, get your one or two more trades and you would not have been into otherwise, you know, that's what I'm looking to do.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions on OMG? Or the alerts on the indicators? Okay. Let's look at one more altcoin alert. We looked at Dash. Yeah, it's mostly the older coins, EOS, ETC. These are all older projects. Let's look at Elrond. It's up 6%. Bullish on the long term, bullish on the elder impulse. Moving nicely, but not too much. So let's check it out. So I think, no, I don't have a trade on this. It's not on my list. All right, day charts. Big pump in November. We've seen that before. Down 70%, but coming back a little bit. On the hour, 2 hour. Yeah, starting on the 13th. Yeah, as high as 30%, dipped a little bit, coming up today. Yeah, so on the 5-minute, squeezing a bubble on the top of the Bollinger Band. Bearish divergence on the 5-minute. Yeah, so, and here's a pretty good example of divergence for those of you who aren't real familiar with it. Like this is showing the candle action trending up, but on the RSI, which is one of the ones listed here, you know, it's actually trending down in the same time frame. So we've got this downward movement, this upward movement on the price action that triggers, and now it's trending down. So It's about the best predictor of what's going to happen. I mean, it's right maybe a little over half the time, but combined with other indicators and good strategy, you can make use of it. Okay, so yeah, not a good entry at the moment on the 5-minute chart. We do have some support in this area here, right around 169. I think that would be my price alert. Something like that. If you want to use your indicators, I like the 15-minute chart for that. And bullish divergence. And then you have your RSI and your MFI as well, like the dash and the OMG trades I showed you earlier. So don't want to duplicate exactly what I'm doing each time, but that's a strategy I use. And then I wait till they go where I want them to.
CJ,
Right. Yes.
could I ask if you could look for something called H bar and see if it's even in the AA listings? Something my son sent me.
H bar. I have traded it last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't remember if I longed it or shorted it, but I do leverage most of my trades on leverage now, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's check out H bar. Okay, on the day chart. Now, is this for a potential day trade or something you want to buy and hold?
I don't really know. I mean, I'm not trading day trading, so I guess it's a buy and hold. And it's just something my 20-year-old son sent me, and it's suggested that it's got potentially huge upside. So I'm buying them.
It's like a lot of the projects, it's dropped 70-80% from their highs in November, and this one's no different. So
So it's kind of just like anything else.
yeah.
What were its highs in November?
Yeah, it was up around here.
What's that showing? $1.47.
47 cents.
47 cents.
So it didn't actually lose as much as some of the others. Some of the others dropped 70-80%. This one dropped like 50 or 60%. So it's 21 cents now. On the 1 hour, it has been trending up. It's up, almost 12% last few days. Not bad. 5-minute. If you're going to hold it, you don't really need a perfect entry.
No.
So, you've got some short-term support here, right around 20.7 cents. We're at like 21.03 now. So if you're going to hold it, let's go over hodling that much on my channel, but
No, that's fine.
Yeah, when I go to buy something that I think I'm going to be in for a couple of days, I like longer term divergence alerts for that kind of thing. But if you're not comfortable with that, then maybe like a price alert, like on the 15-minute chart, there's some support here. It's about the same, 20.7 cents. Actually, this is pretty good support going back, to yesterday. It's bounced off this level, multiple times. So you might want to start there, and then if it goes against you, ladder buy in. Have you seen my videos about ladder buying where you make additional purchases when something goes down to improve your position?
I haven't, but I've heard you speak about it. So
yeah, it's like dollar cost averaging in stocks.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Little tangent there. It's all good. Let's look at some of you guys I know trade on leverage. Let's look at something we can short. So, you know what? Let's do that on iCoinPro. Are there any questions on Altcoin Alert before I move over to iCoinPro? well, quickly I can say on Altcoin Alert, if you want to look for shorts, it's pretty simple. You just do the opposite of the sorts you've seen me do. You know, long-term sentiment, you're looking for bearish and bearish. So H bar would be a candidate to short, according to this information. Or you can look for a low AA score. It's another way to do it.
It looks like they just pretty much just bounced off of their top resistance, right?
Mhm.
They're kind of on the general, just all kind of heading back down again.
They meaning all altcoins or H
You
bar like
know,
we just looked at?
in general, yeah, most of them of the altcoins.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. Some of the cycles I've looked at this morning, with Terry Oliver, a lot of you guys know him from the CryptNation group. His information is saying we're trending up today, tonight and early tomorrow morning, and then probably losing some momentum tomorrow, midday to late day. So we'll see if that holds true. All right, so let's go over to iCoinPro. And there's two things I like to do with iCoinPro to find trades. One's the RSI SPY, the other's a Buddy Coin Crawler. On the RSI SPY, I'm sorting by the 1 hour RSI. We talked about the RSI a lot already. We're looking for values, 30 and below for potential longs. Coins have been beaten down that should be coming back. And unfortunately, it mixes in Bitcoin pairs, which I don't trade. So you got to sort those out. And in some markets, I will, I'm not that rigid on the 30, like I just showed you. I will put an alert on the 35 on the RSI. You've got this OGN, which went down to 30 on the 1 hour and then kind of bounced back. This one's been pumping lately. It's very intriguing. So let's look at OGN for potential long. It's a coin I traded a lot in 2020, early 21. Okay, the day chart. Big drop from November. You know, 80%, but got a lot of that back. Not most, but here's the hour and the big move. From the 17th to yesterday afternoon, really nice move, well over 100%, but trending down since then. Or this is more of a short opportunity, but evaluate it as a long at the moment. The 5-minute chart kind of squeezy, not really bubbling into anything one way or the other. 2.5% between the Bollinger Bands is mediocre. Not sure what to do with this at the moment. Nothing on the 5-minute chart interests me for this. So it's going to be over to the 15. The bullish divergence alerts haven't been very helpful on this. The RSI alerts haven't been very useful. They've gone off and it just keeps trending down. We do have these two. It's moved up a little bit. I'm not sure about this one. When I suggest to put alerts on indicators, it's usually because I see that they've worked in the past, and these really haven't on this particular coin. Like this one would have triggered here. 2.3% on leverage is pretty good. So I guess still better than I thought, but yeah, I think that's the move. Bullish divergence. I'll keep that one. And then you're gonna just be careful. When it goes off, make sure it's trending up, that the other indicators are at least pointing up. And maybe go in with half or a third of your usual amount, be ready to ladder buy if you need to. So intriguing, but down 15% today. UTC time is going to kick in a new day in 25 minutes. So that's probably as low as it's going to go today. All right. Any questions on OGN? Okay. So that's the only, now if you want to short something, there's probably a lot of those opportunities because the market's been mostly up the last couple of days. So we're looking for values of 70 and above, and a lot of these we're getting, 4 hours as 4 hour as well. Algo. We could do some of these I'm not that familiar with. PundiX I've heard of. I don't know if that's something we can short. It's like Algo is the only one here that's on that's a USDT pair that we can short. Vite might be on Binance, but let's just go to Algo. I know that one is. Let's bring it up over here. You can use this drop-down menu to get a trading view chart. I already have too many charts up at the moment. All right, day chart. Yeah, this is another one that had a big move in November and kind of came crashing down. Look at that. Look at that wick. It's a 37% wick in one day. That's crazy. Down to like 77%, but trending back up. On the hour, this has been pretty recent. Just since last night.
That may be a good buy-in opportunity.
I don't know. We're looking at this as a short at the moment. I mean, something to go short, to bet against it. We just have, we just printed. Well, it hasn't. Sometimes these show like this and then they go away when the candle hasn't closed yet, and this candle won't close till 5 o'clock Pacific. So I'm not sure if this is going to hold or not, this bearish divergence, but this is intriguing. When you get these on the 1 hour chart, they're usually pretty accurate. Like this one went down, 1.13. This one went down, 2.5. So.
Sorry, I had asked that question from the buy and hold perspective.
Yeah, this is the opposite of that.
I know.
This is the pump and short and dump.
Yeah.
This one went against us for a while, but then came back down. Pretty good trade. Takes 2 days, but so yeah, we've already got this forming. This is something I keep an eye on. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. I'm gonna put an alert here on my divergence. And when it closes at 5 p.m. my time, I might get in this one.
Is there any way to put an alert on the Bollinger Band? Like if it, closes outside of the Bollinger Band?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been doing this in my scalping. So that's a little too jumbled up. Let's do that on. You have to do it a little differently. Your impulse is going to be, right click on the Bollinger Band. It'll give you that option, but I find it's kind of confusing. So what I like to do is to go here to, and leave this under condition, leave the coin, and then crossing either up or down. So which way do you want to go? You want to go down to get a dip sequence?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to cross down. And on value, we're going to select Bollinger Bands. And then it'll ask for the basis. And do we want the upper or lower? Well, if we're looking for a dip trade, we want the lower.
I didn't know you could do that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I learned this. If you're right clicking on the indicator or the thing you want to put the alert on, it doesn't quite look right. Sometimes you can just put, the coin in there. It'll give you some other options, but this is my favorite way to do Bollinger Bands. And I've been using this coincidentally frequently the last week or so. Because what I'm trying to do is get dip sequences and then to short the dips and then long after it resolves. So haven't really gotten any juicy dips to do that with. It's been a little frustrating, but
Yeah, but I was kind of thinking if it crossed over and then it actually closed outside of the band. You understand what I'm saying?
all right. So you want it close outside the band?
Right.
Okay. Well, it
So
won't.
it crosses the band and then closes outside
Yeah.
of it.
This will do that if you do it once per bar close. You might get a halfway. It might be half over, half on top, but
But it's just an alert. It's just
yeah,
come look at me.
right.
Right.
Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just makes you aware of a situation that's either there or about to be there. So anyway, that's how I do that. All right. Let's see, we're at about 35 minutes. Let's see if we haven't looked at the Buddy coin crawler yet. So, and did we finish algo on the short side? Yeah, I did the bearish divergence. You can also do on the indicator side. Well, on the price side, and we never made it to the 5-minute chart because I saw what I wanted on the 1 hour. You can set an alert here. We have a little bit of resistance. Let's say between, well, right about where we are now, and maybe a little higher to 82, maybe 82 cents would be a good place to do the price alert. I showed you the divergence already. As you can see on the MFI, when this went down and came back down again, it made a pretty nice short move. 0.87% times 10x leverage. That's a good, that's a pretty good trade. The RSI touched the 70 right here. Did basically the same thing. So you can put your alerts the opposite of what I showed you before. The MFI crossing down 80. The RSI crossing down 70. There we go. Usually once per bar close, and that's your alert. All right, that's how I use iCoinPro to find coins to short. They would be horrified if they knew I was using their platform for leverage because they don't like leverage. They think it's too risky. Not entirely wrong. So make sure you're good and at least knowledgeable and confident in your spot trading first before you do anything with leverage. So, all right, well, that's okay. We need to look at one more thing on iCoinPro, and that's the Buddy coin crawler. I like this tool to show me what coins are moving. I sort by the average low to the SMA. The low is a 24-hour low. And the SMA line's that kind of pinkish red line you see between my Bollinger Bands on my charts. Looking for values 5% or higher. We don't really have too many of those. I have traded this Jasmy coin lately. It's at 7%. Looking for volume 10 million or more. This is way above that. So good volume, good price action. Let's check it out. Let's go to Jasmy. It's probably not on my list. That's fairly new. Okay, day chart. Only listed back in November and pretty much straight down. like the others we've seen, but trending up a little bit lately. On the 1 hour, pretty nice move from the 15th to the 19th. Really nice move, almost 180%. But a drawdown, then another pump. This one's been really, really volatile. 5 minute. Maybe going into a dip sequence, a slight bubble here, and a puncture of the lower Bollinger Band. Bullish divergence on the 5 minute. I think I'd want to catch this down here. There's some support around 3.5 cents. That's where I'd want to catch this on a price alert. On the 15-minute chart. Had a really nice move off bullish divergence here. 10%. Another good one here. 3%. Then if you want to wait, half a day, 10.5%. If you're 25% here, so yeah, bullish divergence alerts. Well, this one didn't work, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And yeah, this MFI. It's a good alert here and a good alert here. So you might want to go with that one as your indicator alert over the RSI, which has been a little less sensitive. So crossing up, value 20. And yeah, that's your MFI alert. Haven't used one that, haven't called it that before. I probably called it, I usually call my alerts based on the information source I get them, like Altcoin Alert, RSI, or something like that. So I can track that kind of thing. If you use multiple information sources, you should definitely track what information source provided you with the winning trade or the losing trade for that matter. So you can decide whether that's something useful to you or not. So, all right. Any questions on Jasmy? Actually, I'm going to throw a
CJ.
divergence alert on this, I think. Yes.
So do you keep track of every single trade that you make?
Yes.
Every single one?
Yes.
And that's for tax purposes?
Well, it's more for the thing I just said about tracking information sources. For taxes, if you've seen my emails, I'm promoting a trust that will help you eliminate taxes, but that's outside the scope of this program. If you want to learn about that, email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com. Many, including myself, don't quite rise to the level of profits that this trust requires. So I am going to have to do taxes pretty basically this year. Last year, I connected an API to my exchanges using a program called crypto.tax, recommended by my accountant. That was a little clunky, but it did work. Unfortunately, Binance kicked me out in October. I can't connect to get those trades anymore. So I just emailed my guy and said, all I have is my spreadsheet for Binance and a couple others. And he goes, okay, we'll work with it. So keeping some kind of log of what you're doing is helpful, even if it's just written. Whether that would suffice for the IRS, I'm not an accountant, not giving tax advice. I don't know, but I'm meeting with my guy on Wednesday. I'll have more information next week on that. But anyway, there's a long convoluted answer to your question.
Well, I'm just very interested in how to report this thing and how to keep track of it, because I don't want to necessarily end up some huge fine or something like that. And I don't know what the story is as far as whether who's going to report what, who's going to be turning in a 1099 to, or whatever form or another they're going to I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know enough about it, but I think I ought to.
Yeah, Oliver in the chat mentioned he uses coinly.com, Coinly with a K. I've heard of that one. So, you know, that,
Coinly.
yeah, and there's
What
some,
is it?
I don't know. Oliver, you want to speak up on that? You still here?
Yes. Hi, TJ. Thank you.
Mhm.
Finally, I use it, and there's some other people that are in Carbon who use it. It's pretty good. It uses an API that you set up on your Bybit, just like you set up APIs with Carbon. It's very simple. You connect with the API, and it syncs all your trades over to Coinly, and then you export a CSV file, which is compatible with like TurboTax or TaxAct, you know, some of the major programs out there. And I used it this year. There's a couple things I had to clean up on it, but it wasn't too hard to figure out. And yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Okay.
What's
Well,
also nice about it is it actually shows you daily your trades and your P&L. And also if you're in some long trades that have, you know, or, you know, trades that have gone bad that you've been in for a long time, you can actually watch it every day, and it will show you how much you're losing out of your wallet every day with these.
so it'll reveal the misery.
So we reveal the, you know, well, in my case, I'm losing about $1 a day right now with stuck trades.
It sucks.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
does suck. One other thing too, and I don't want
All
to
right, we do need to wrap it up, so go ahead.
But if anybody's interested in Coinly, I do have a code that will save you $20 off the purchase.
All right, go ahead and put your email in the chat real quick. So
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's a win-win for both of us. So
yeah, or email me and I'll forward it to Oliver. So
okay.
yeah, I'm gonna need to wrap this up here because the other webinar is coming up. So that's all we have for today. For those of you who join me live, I really appreciate it. Remember that we're starting an hour later on beginning Monday the 28th. So I'll send out emails to that effect. If you're watching on the replay, I appreciate that as well. And hopefully we'll see you live next time. Otherwise, we'll see you guys.
All right. Thanks, CJ.
On the Carbon.
And Friday is going to be same time as always?
Friday is the same time.
Okay.
No changes there. All right. Goodbye, everybody.